morning to all of you, even if the time is moving towards noon, lunch, and other pleasant things you would like to enjoy later on today. I'm really happy to see so many distinguished people in this audience. On one hand, my task today seems to be very easy. After inspiring introduction by Chairman of the Management Board, after presentations by the representatives of joint venture, where they basically already described the intentions, the ideas, the philosophy, the procurement system of this great project. And after, of course, a presentation by Christian, my Estonian colleague, who in general terms described the new legislation, the upcoming legislation, according to new procurement directive, which is the same for all the Baltic states. Therefore, the differences cannot be very significant. On the other hand, the task is really difficult, because I assume that those of you who seriously consider participating in procurements have learned and studied legislation, both national and European, have studied the labor market and situation in the region, possibly to the larger extent than we have. Therefore, that will be a challenge to keep your attention during my presentation. And Dirks mentioned that Estonians are really advanced in some parts or in some aspects of procurement. But I would like to recall a joke told by late President of Estonia, Mr. Lennart Meri. And he said once in an interview to Latvian TV that Estonians really think that in Latvia everything is better. Even their neighbors are better. Therefore, I would like to start with describing the role and place of the company I'm representing, Eiropas Dzelzceļa līnijas, the role of this company in this broad and bright picture of the project family. As it was told, we are a national implementing body, 100% state-owned company, which and shares of our company is owned by state in the person of Ministry of Transport. And our main tasks, according to the founding documents of the project, are land acquisition on behalf of the state for the project needs, design for local facilities, construction of the parts of the line, and naturally, bureaucracy was mentioned, and this is also our case. We need some administration as well. Public procurement. Why is that needed? I don't think that I have to explain and to prove why public procurement is essential, especially in the projects of this scale and in the projects which are financed by the public money. Procurement principles, they do not differ much from what was told by distinguished representatives of RB Rail and by the representative of Estonia. To maintain this trust in our project, we have to be open and public, and we have to prove, and we have to ground all the decisions we are taking, so that public maintains trust in the companies responsible for the project and in the project as such. Interoperability, important from the very first steps of the project. Procurement method we have chosen, at least in one procurement conducted by Eiropas Dzelzceļa līnijas, is design and build method related to Riga Central Station. I wouldn't perhaps go into more detail regarding this particular procurement, because later on today we will have a separate presentation devoted to this procurement. And again, thanks to the venue of this forum, which is in Riga. Later on, those of you who have registered will also have the possibility to witness the site of future construction works. Now I'll turn to the procurement legislation. New public procurement law of Latvia entered into force, was adopted at the end of 2016, and all the procurements which are announced after 1st of March this year have to be conducted according to the new public procurement law. In contrary, those who have been announced before that date and has been started according to the previous law, they have also been finished according to the previous legislation. Regarding some aspects of procurement procedure, some of those things were mentioned already by previous speakers, but here we can see that language for procurement rules and applications, thanks to this project, or thanks to the rules accepted in this project, shall be conducted both in Latvian and later on translated also into English. Specially designed application forms, they have also been somewhere mentioned here. And of course, to diminish administrative burden, which is one of the reasons why this new procurement legislation entered into force, we also expect that the applicants will use electronic means as much as possible and as much as allowed by legislation. Although you most likely know about new law, these are few things which we, from the contracting authorities' point of view, considered the most important changes in comparison with what was set in law before. And this is regarding publication of the procurement plan as of from June 2017, which will be a requirement for all the authorities. Electronic application on one of the slides later on, I will tell you regarding the dates when this will enter into force for the projects of different scale. And the minimal deadlines for application, they have been shortened, but we are really careful regarding too short and too tight deadlines in order to maintain the high quality and high accessibility to the project. And the complaints procedure, of course, I'm sure that it's not the secret that complaints procedure in many cases, at least. I can speak about our country. They have the procedure has been quite often misused just to delay the project, and this is crucial especially in the projects where EU funding is involved. Electronic applications, as promised from October 1st, 2017 for public supplies or services above the said amount, and for public works, the electronic applications will be an option. And for smaller projects below this threshold, this will be a requirement starting from 1st of April next year. The law provides for two procedures which are relevant to our procurement procurements, and this is open procedures where all interested suppliers are entitled to submit tenders, and only then selection of tenders and assessment of submitted tenders proceed in one stage. And restricted procedure where all interested may request the right to participate in the first stage, and however the procurement commission then evaluates those first stage applications, and tenders may only be submitted by those who are chosen to do so. Contract price margins. I don't know if there is something to add relating to this slide. These are margins announced and set by the community legislation. Therefore, if we are below the margin, then the national procurement procedure is applied. If we are on or above the margin, then we switch to the EU procurement procedure. The deadlines, yes, from the type of procurement, they have been shortened considerably in comparison to what was set in law before. But as I said, we are really looking forward to be careful and not to cause the damage to the project by the means of too short times for preparation. Compliance procedure, and this is one of my final slides. The deposit has been established, which shall be given away to Procurement Monitoring Bureau regarding the procedure, and the deposit is of the amount of 0.5% of estimated contract price, but not more than 15,000 euro for public works and 840 for public supplies and services. And the second aspect of that, if the estimated contract price cannot be set or is not indicated in public procurement documentation, then deposit is 3,400 for public works and the same amount of 840 for public supplies and services. It's worth to note that deposit can be submitted as a bank guarantee insurance for a specific amount of money or payment for a specific amount of money to the Procurement Monitoring Bureau. Regarding information about tenders conducted by Eiropas Dzelzceļa līnijas, you are most welcome to follow information on the home pages of Eiropas Dzelzceļa līnijas, Procurement Monitoring Bureau, and Tenders Electronic Daily of the European Communities.